Hello, everybody. This is Susan Bechara. Again, another show, get to the point, to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. Like I said last week with my first show, I always like to start off with a special verse that is going to open up our conversation with very special people. I have two wonderful guests today. So let me just go on with the verse first. And this is from Mother Teresa of Calcutta, one of my heroes. You know, we all have our heroes. She's one of them. So I'd like to share this verse with all of you as an opening, because it is about getting to the point, to tell the truth, and just be as honest as we can be with ourselves and others. People are often unreasonable and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you're kind, people may accuse you of ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you're honest, people may cheat you. Be honest anyway. If you find happiness, people may be jealous, but be happy anyway. The good that you do today may be forgotten tomorrow. Do good. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. But give your best anyway. For you see, in the end, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. I tried every day to live by this motto, and I love it because it affects all of us, because we are very weak as human, and we need a higher power to help us to go through life each day. So again, thank you for watching this show. So my first guest today is Jessie Flores. Jessie has been a good friend of mine for quite a while. And I didn't know this, even though we've been friends, that he has a passion with young people, and he has been a teacher and with higher education and young people for over 50 years. So with no further introduction, I'm going to go straight to Jessie right now. Thank you, Jessie, for coming here.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
What a great person you are. You came all the way from Tulare County. That's a long drive.
Yeah,
How was your drive coming here?
It was quiet and peaceful. I was praying and enjoying myself. It was nice.
So tell me a little bit about you, Jess. I know that we've been playing music together in certain retreats when we gather together. I know you play the guitar. I just want to know a little bit more by coming to this show. What intrigues me is that I wasn't aware that you've been an educator for the last 52 years.
50 years, approximately 50 years, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So my question would be, what got you into that field?
It was kind of a... I originally was going into forestry because I used to go deer hunting with my dad up in the Sierra Mountains, and we'd have a great time up there with my uncles and my dad and my cousins. So I started school in Humboldt County, and I was there, and then I noticed that some of the people that finished their degree, it was the jobs were few. So I've always liked coaching, so there was a Catholic school on the edge of town, and they one of the classes you could take at the college was what they call participation and I forget the name now. Mm-hmm. That's what happens when you get old. You start forgetting things.
Yes, that's true.
But anyway, I took the class, and then they sent me to this school, and you go to whichever school you wanted to. And it was an 8th grade class with it was a Catholic school, but the teacher there she was a lay person like myself, and she was really good, and she had me doing some classroom work with her, and then I would be with her young men, and we would do PE together in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. So I enjoyed that so much, so that semester that semester was over, that trimester was over. So then I took another class again, and so I enjoyed it, and then I started thinking, you know what, maybe the Lord's not pushing me, but opening my eyes, opening doors for this. Yes. And it worked, and I enjoyed myself, and I started making an impact with the kids there, and she gave me some reasons to look towards that career.
I noticed also in your biography, a short biography, you were also coaching teachers to be teachers.
Yes.
And my question would be, this is just my personal opinion. I've noticed that the new millennial, that are going to college, they have a different perspective about morale, most of them. It's almost like either they've been silenced to really be who they are, what they wanted to do with young people today. Because just education in itself, I don't think that it's just as effective, but it's really passion, isn't it? Because many of them would go into the field maybe for the wrong reason. What would you say?
I think I totally agree with you. If you don't have the passion, then the students will see it. I mean, just like if someone is telling you to do something and then you're not sure why they're saying it, and then you the longer you're around that person, you think, gosh, I don't know if they're just trying to shine me on or they don't seem like they're really being legitimate in their motives. So my son is. I bring up my son's name because Andrew, because he has my old classroom, and he's a science teacher, as I was a science teacher.
Okay. And
if you're passionate about what you're doing, the kids can see it, and they enjoy being in your class, and they and recess time, lunchtime, they want to come back. They want to spend some of their, so you must be doing something right.
Right. Now, our philosophy is that when a student finish high school, we like to encourage them to go to college. Mm-hmm. And most of the time, there are these 4-year colleges, but not every child is going to be able to complete a 4-year college. Not every child wants to go to a 4-year college. Some of them, in America, that's one thing I know. I noticed that there's so many different community colleges, a trade school and career school, and they have so many choices that they can choose from, right?
That's correct.
Depending on the passion that they want to study and the kind of jobs that are available out there. But in California, I noticed that that being in the field where I work with a lot of troubled youth, they may be a lot of them behind credits at school due to the fact that they may be incarcerated, or maybe they're just dropping out and trying to catch up, right? How can a good teacher encourage these young people to really pursue a career by being totally honest with them? Because sometimes I hear from the young people themselves, some teachers do not encourage them to go to college. They just say, yeah, just finish your GED, just finish your high school diploma, just go to work. So what would you say? Because I know your passion is to make them better citizens, because I don't want these young people to think it's just a job thing, and they don't enjoy it, but because they have to pay bills. What would you say to young people like that?
Now I know why God had me come to the program. It's really important that they feel good about what they're doing, and I would tell my middle school students, my 8th graders, most of the time it was 8th graders, 13, 14, 15-year-olds, I'd say, you're so good at this, you should, whatever they were good at, because I'd always try to find something that they were good at and not always work on just the academic part of it. And I would tell them, when you finish school here and you go to high school, I want you to pursue this thing that you already love to do. You like it. You're good, and you can help people out so much as you, and it could even be turn into a career for you. So I would never say just go to college. I'd say if okay, you like to do this, it's going to require you to go to college, and looking at your grades and your study skills, you can do it. Your study habits, you can do it. Or I would tell the person, depending on who I was talking to, I said, you're so good at this, and you might get more technical information going to a trade school. I would tell them to go to a trade school, or I would tell them to go to work with someone as an apprentice. My youngest son he's a Pilates instructor, and he does a great job, and people just rave about how good he is. And he was told to go to college, and he went to college, but for him that wasn't the right thing, the right fit. So he.
Oh, there you go. When you say the right fit, that is excellent, because not every child is the same. You can't have a curriculum that fits everybody. Correct? So what would you say to audience hearing you right now, especially young people that are really wanting to further their education, right? Because, education in America is free, public school. Unless you want to put it to them in private school, if you can afford it, that would be awesome. But the thing is, having a free education, right, That's how our Constitution set it up, where every child in the United States should be educated, right? That's why we have this free education. But my concern is that when I came to this country, I see young people that are born here, okay, or they're legally here, they are getting free education, but they're dropping out. There's a lot of dropout rates. I know that sometimes we say, yeah, the dropout rate is getting better, but from what I study is that we also are watering down the graduation requirement. To me, that's almost like stealing them away from what they should be getting, because we're so divided as a country. Everything is being politicized, even in the educational system. They water down the graduation requirement. They water down a lot of things in education, okay? And then, so how would you speak to the audience that are watching, right, especially young people, first of all, to break it down, the different colleges, the different trade school, whatever, what the requirements are, and what can they do to get this benefit of going to college in those areas? Because I know that a lot of our young people are so used to entitlement, especially in California, the grants and everything. And as soon as they hear that if they're going to go into higher education, they have to take a student loan or something, they start to panic. They want this entitlement free. To me, I just don't understand. That contradicts of being self-sufficient.
Yes, I think in the United States, especially California, there's so many people are just used to getting something for free, and they are entitled to this. And one of the things I taught my children was, you get what you get because you put your hard work into it. And I think kids that they need to know that. I would tell I was always a coach, and I said, if you don't work in class, and if you don't work do your homework or get extra help, whatever you're having trouble with and dealing with, come and get some extra help, because that's how you're going to be successful, putting in extra time. Not everybody can be the best writer, the best singer, the best athlete, but that's all right. You excel in what the gifts that God's given you, and get better at it, and then you'll be able to improve if you have that fire inside you to go after it. Am I hitting?
Yeah, pretty much. Now you're a Christian man,
yes,
right? And I know in a public school we're not supposed to be talking about religion or our faith. How do you get to these young people?
Well, I was a coach, and that was a question that was like, okay, all right, guys, I was a cross-country coach, I was a track coach. Mostly it was a cross-country coach or a wrestling coach. And we would say, okay, let's get together, let's talk about how we're going to do just before the matches started or the meet started. And I tell them, all right, I'm gonna start this first. We'll do a little short prayer. And so I'd tell them, okay, follow.
But you were working in the Christian school or public school?
This is Christian school, no, public school.
Oh, public school.
Public
okay.
school.
Yeah, okay.
And I just figured if
do you have any controversy with that, having to say prayer with some of the students?
No, I just told them if you want to join us in the prayer, you can. If not, you can wait just off to the side right here. And so we would pray, and I would just pray for guidance, and pray for that the kids would do their best, and not that they would win, because God's not going to let you beat that other person just because you pray for them. And so after we prayed, then we'd come to another meeting, and kids would say, Coach, are we going to say our prayer? Oh, I forgot. And so they were leading me, and eventually I said, okay, who'd like to lead the prayer for today? And some kids would do it.
And the ones that don't want to do it?
And they just were silent.
Okay, but they didn't argue?
I never got
do you
anybody.
have any parents that come against that?
Never did.
Never did?
No.
Yeah, I'll be surprised for parents to come against that, even if they're not believers or atheists or going to another faith, right? I think prayer can be very universal. And, in times of need, everybody needs a prayer, right?
Yeah, that was when they first, Coach, can I pray? That was an eye-opener, and I was happy about that.
Yeah, because education is very near and dear to my heart also for young people, because today I have another young people that's going to be a guest to talk about this. But my thing is that since this is a show that's supposed to be telling the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God, and that God could be whoever you want it to be, but mine is Jesus Christ. So anyone who's listening here, if you're an atheist or you're agnostic people, we're not coming against you, but I would really like to invite all of you to come here, because the next segment, after we take a little break, we'll be talking about faith, prayer in the school. Thank you.
When you need to get fit, contact Gary Torres, IFBB Pro, specializing in weight loss, body transformations, and contest prep. Email GaryTorres5336@yahoo.com.
Hey, I'm Chris DeVold. Tune in every Friday night on CentralValleyTalk.com when I bring you Sex, Drugs, Chris DeVold, where I'll give you 3 guesses on what we talk about. And I also vow to bring you 1 live local music act a week. So tune in every week, because you never know what kind of music you're going to hear right here on CentralValleyTalk.com.
The Space Colony Journals are an epic tale of a family's struggle to survive. Meet the courageous women and dangerous men who dare to carve a home on the alien world of Vensug. Get your copy today. Available on Amazon and Gail Daly's FineArt.com.
You enter this door with expired tags. Beyond is another dimension, a dimension of regulations, a dimension of long waits. You have reached the registration zone. What looks like an ordinary shop is actually Mitchell Smog, located in the heart of the Tower District, a few minutes from the DMV. Mitchell Smog offers your vehicle a STAR-certified smog inspection. So remember Mitchell Smog when you need to pass through the registration zone.
Contact Sarah Hernandez of June and Matte Photography to schedule your portrait, engagement, wedding, or next family photo session. But that's not all. Sarah is also your personal brandographer, helping you ditch the stock photos and get images that sell. Call 559-412-3721. Visit JuneandMattPhoto.com and follow Sarah on Instagram and Facebook. Give your child the tools to succeed.
The Yergubian Academic Center offers one-on-one and group educational lessons by appointment. Over 90% of our students show significant improvement in their academics in just 3 months. Students of the Yergubian Academic Center have gone on to UCLA, UC San Diego, Yale, Stanford, and many more prestigious universities. Schedule a tutoring session today. Call 559-437-3973.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. And we're going to continue our conversation with Jessie Flores. And we're going to be speaking and focusing more on prayer in school, and maybe talking about the division we're having in the colleges too, about the freedom of speech in the First Amendment, and how can we work together so that our young millennium here can have a better understanding and not be so violently against certain groups, to bring peace. This is what I'm here for. We can agree to disagree in our talk show, but anyone who is disagreeing would come forward, contact me, and let's have a nice little discussion so we can come to a consensus of working on the disagreement. So, Jess, again, I want to ask you, being in education for a long time, right? Do you find that today, especially today in campuses and in colleges, do you see a lot of division when it comes to the students' faith and the students' belief on prayers? I thought we are in a country that has the First Amendment right, the right to speak, the right to speak from your heart, the right to believe in any faith that you want, the right to assemble, right? The right and the freedom of the press. But I'm looking at the news to the point where I don't even want to look at it anymore. You know, it's because they're so too divisive.
Mm-hmm. I haven't taken a class. I took some online classes, but I haven't taken any classes, so I haven't been in a classroom. But I tend to agree with you that kind of thing is happening, and it's some of the instructors are atheists, or if they're not atheists, they are just they're
agnostic.
They're agnostic, or they are very wishy-washy, and they're not very strong in their belief. So
okay, stop right there. That is very challenging for you to say that. If there's instructors and professors out there right now, when they hear that, how do you think they would respond for a statement like that?
Well, they probably would deny part of it because they're afraid that for their job, perhaps.
Thank you for saying that. I think there are a lot of good people out there, but I think they're more fearful of saying the wrong thing and jeopardize their career.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. So, continue.
And they're afraid of they're fearful of their job. They're fearful that some strong group.
Political correctness.
Yeah, they'd say, "Hey, you can't be saying that in class. It's not politically correct." I remember when I have this is more recently when I have been a substitute teacher and I'm in a certain classroom like the 6th grade. They study ancient cultures, mm-hmm. and we get into some of the not in depth, but we start studying about like the Egyptians and then we also study about the Christians and how they were mm-hmm. they were punished by the Egyptians and the other mm-hmm. people, and so that's my in to get in and talk about Jesus and mm-hmm. And how he helped them. And we talked about the three children that were put in the fiery furnace and they weren't burned up.
Yeah.
And so the kids get excited about that because some of them had never heard that story. So anyway, to make a long story short, you have to pick your battles. Basically, what I do, mm-hmm. because I don't just want to start preaching Christianity, but they know that I am. That I'm a Christian. At the beginning, if somebody will ask me, I'll say yes, I am.
So, the way I see it, right? I'm a Christian. I'm a Catholic, but I'm a Christian first. I noticed that, just to be fair with the audience, right? Whether they're atheists or agnostic or they have a different faith, right? I think we as Christians also made a bad mistake. We need to also be humble enough to notice that we don't speak up as much because we're fearful of confrontation. And so now we're at the point in our country today, right, that as soon as they know we're Christians, they call us all kinds of names, being a conservative, diehard this, hardcore this and that, right? But we're being told to be humble, right? We're told to follow the law of the land, but we're also told not to compromise what God, our God, through Jesus Christ had taught us. But I don't think we're practicing that because in every religion, every faith, there's always some extremists, okay? And to me, we as a body of Christ need to learn to understand the other side. Just because they're atheists, they're agnostic people, right? We got to be embracing the love that God has taught us without compromising, don't you think? So in our educational system, I think that has not been really approached. People just want to silence it. So the First Amendment has been shut down. Maybe some people who are hearing this in my show may not agree what I said, or some of them may agree. I don't know. But to me, as an instructor, don't you agree they shouldn't even talk about politics in that way? They should introduce the history of why this division has come to this point, to where if someone speaks about faith or their belief is different from them, there's always going to be demonstration and, you know, students rioting and all that. That shouldn't be it, because if it is a freedom of speech in the First Amendment, the right to assemble, both sides needs to back off a little bit and learn to listen to the differences and be more at peace. And next week we're going to be celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King, you know, and I think he made that very, very clear. You know, we can have a disagreement of certain topics that we want to talk about, it be education or whatever it is. We need to learn how to live with each other more peacefully. This is what our nation is founded from. This is how our nation becomes so strong, because of our differences, right?
Exactly.
So in the education area there, how can we make that possible? Like in the colleges, I have a lot of young college students that will be coming into my show in a few weeks that has difficulty of even assembling and even wanting to do a little Bible study in the colleges. They're not being welcome as much as those that want to go into a different kind of club, putting together a club in the colleges.
Yes, I was working in Lindsay High School last year, and there was the Bible club, and they would meet. Yeah, they'd meet at lunchtime, but I mean, if it's during your free time, then they're not going to be. I mean, at least on that campus, they're not going to.
But those are the high schools. How about in colleges? What advice would you give the college students that really want to assemble and have a Bible study group, you know, or any faith group? They're not as welcoming when it comes to Christianity. Why do you think it is so much against Christianity in this nation? This is a Judeo-Christian nation, and that's why we're able to allow people the freedom to worship anything. But yet, we're the one that's getting attacked. See, because of our Christian faith, we open the door to every opportunity, because we're not supposed to judge anyone who's different from us. And that's why they have the freedom. That's why the First Amendment is freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and that should be applied to the school. But what I'm saying here, I don't know if I make this clear, is that if that is the truth, right? Because we're Christian, we're supposed to embrace and welcome differences, but yet it's now under attack. The very reason we allow differences, freedom of that speech, right? Now the Christians are the most attacked. I just don't understand that. That is a question that maybe we need to look at ourselves as Christians. Are we delivering it in the right way?
I think that they have the people who are agnostic or against Christianity. They have taken the Ten Commandments out of the courtrooms, and they're using steadily but surely they're pulling more and more things, Christianity, about anything about God out of the as I said in the courtroom, and also in other situations. They don't want you to mention it, and so they're using their strong arm tactics to do that. They don't want, and so and not most Christians won't really fight enough about that.
Why do you think that is? When I say fighting, I don't like the word fighting. There has to be a better strategy without compromising and watering it down, don't you think?
Yeah, I shouldn't have said fighting, but they won't stand up for themselves.
Why do you think is that clear?
Well, in a school, if you're a teacher, you fear for your job. If you're a student, then you're
afraid of the professor failing you.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
Perhaps that might be it. You know, I don't know. I just not. I haven't been in that situation, but they could they could do it during their free time. I mean,
Maybe if someone is listening to this program today, if you can contact me and come to my show and explain that a little bit, if you're from the educational department, to explain about what we are discussing today, I would really appreciate that. In closing, I'm hoping to really encourage people in the educational department to come forward and explain a little bit. Maybe there's an area which is in the gray right now that I need some clarification. Why being a Christian is so difficult these days? Is it because we're not approaching it right? Because if we are talking about the freedom of speech and religion in the First Amendment, there has to be something that we can work out so that Christian students that have that belief will not feel like they are not having a voice anymore, or their voice is going to be silenced. Thank you so much for watching the show. And Jessie, I really thank you for coming over.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And I know we'll have further discussion about this.
Sure will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sparkle Sujin with the Everything Sparkle Show. Tune in every Thursday live at 4 p.m. You will see people that are motivational, inspirational, inspiring, and of course, entertaining. We have a great time. We learn things about how big celebrities are inspiring big names here in Fresno. Hugh Hefner is the reason we have Fresno Magazine, and Gnarly Charlie got his start because Johnny Carson told him to. So, tune in, you'll learn something new, and have a good time.
Highlights, balayage, color, extensions, cuts, pure Brazilian blowouts, treatments. Contact Jordan Myers at Hair by Jordan. Did you know most hair and beauty salons in the Central Valley are not disposing of their chemicals correctly? Partner with us today to become an eco-friendly salon. Visit us online at greenbeautywaste.com. Our phone number is 559-367-7206. And be sure to visit us on Instagram and Facebook at Green Beauty Waste.
Is everything in life draining you? Come to Stretch 360. Our professional staff can offer you many options for relaxation like deep tissue or hot stone massages, infrared medical grade sauna. Once you leave us, you'll look and feel like $1,000,000. Stretch 360. Relaxation is only a stretch away.
The Art of Becoming Who We Are in Christ by Jolene Kennedy is a book about the process of maturity as we find our true identity, since God's promises must be received, embraced, and activated within us. Get your copy today and check out JoleneKennedy.com. Fleet Feet Fresno is more than just a running and sportswear store. Fleet Feet Sports' mission is to provide runners and other active Fresnans with gear that fits their individual needs, training that helps them reach their fitness goals, and races that satisfy their competitive spirit. Get to know Fleet Feet Fresno today. If your home floods, who will you call? When your house springs a leak, it's time to call Clean Master Emergency Flood Service at 559-213-9430. Clean Master will be there in 60 minutes to start fixing your home. And Clean Master bills your insurance directly, saving you the hassle because you've got enough to worry about. Clean Master also offers carpet and upholstery cleaning, carpet repair, pet odor removal, and more. Remember, Clean Master Emergency Flood Service. 559-213-9430 and visit cleanmasterflood.com. Pour yourself a glass of Crybaby wine available at the market and Sam's Italian Deli. And remember to ask for Crybaby wine at your favorite restaurant.
Forget about the higher good of food, right? You're growing a product that people enjoy really all over the world. I mean, how does that make you feel?
I think about that all the time. I think about the families sitting around a table, enjoying a meal. I just see that what we do brings families together.
I mean, we're blessed. We're in paradise for food.
The Kern family of the Kern Family Farm invites you to eat delicious, nutritious, organic produce available at the Gnarly Carrot, located at 32954 Road 222 in North Fork, California. The Gnarly Carrot is a local, natural, seasonally changing market, offering a wide range of products from local Central Valley vendors. Get your caffeine fix, grab a smoothie, and support small businesses. Learn more at KernFamilyFarm.com and visit the Gnarly Carrot today.
Welcome back to the show, Get to the Point with Susan Bechara. My next guest is going to be very interesting. He's a young man. He's 18 years old, and I'll be interviewing him today regarding his new venture of becoming a rapper. And I'm going to be asking him some questions. So all of you out there, if you're looking for young talents, please contact him.
Hello. How you doing
Hi,
this morning?
Passion.
Good morning.
I'm so glad to have you here.
I'm glad to see you too, Miss
How's
Susan.
everything going?
It's been a blessing. You know, I've been taking day by day, and I feel like I'm getting closer to my achievements that I want to reach in life. And my
So
goals.
what is that achievement that you're trying to reach, Passion?
Well, I'm trying to I'm very goal oriented. I'm trying to make it to this destination that I have for planning for myself, which
What
is
is that?
really,
Yeah.
Do college, my music, and really be where I want to be in life.
I've known you for quite a bit. You were
Yeah.
my former student that graduated from my program,
Yes.
intervention and the counseling, right?
Yes.
And I know that you went through quite a big tragedy in your life,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that and why you want to pursue this career that you have coming up?
Well, I've lost a lot of family members, as far as my brother, my uncle, my auntie, one of my best friends. And this year alone, I lost 4 people, and then the other year before, I lost 3. So, I just learned just to keep pushing. Like a car with flat tires, you still got to get out and still keep pushing even when things go wrong.
Yeah. Where did you get that faith in yourself from?
I think that God really blessed me with it. To be honest, there's a lot of times I felt like not being where I am in life, and then I figured if I just keep pushing towards where I want to be in life, I'm going to be there. So.
When did you start finding out that God is the answer for you? I know that you, in the past, that wasn't where the direction was.
At all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did God become real in your life?
It became real after times and countless times of my life being saved, when I thought I was going to be gone, but I still remained here, being able to talk today is a blessing in itself, so I felt it really mostly when my brother died, because the pain, I felt he helped me get through it, I'm still hurting, but I'm able to maintain emotions and feelings and keep going on.
So how will you tell a lot of young people that are maybe viewing this show today, and maybe people that are working with young people like yourself, right? How do you share your walk, your journey with God, and that a lot of them out there that are still not where you're at?
I tell them really with their journey, you have to make sure that, keep your route of your destination. Make sure you put yourself in the direction that you want to go in life, Because a lot of times when things don't go the way you planned it, you think maybe I can lean on somebody else for advice to go with their plan of operation. But you all have your own identity, so you got to make sure you know yourself and not nobody else but yourself,
But how about some of the young people that are really, really lost and they don't even know their identity? And there's so many things in the social media these days for young people, especially giving different types of advice.
Yeah.
How did you ended up with God?
I ended up with God through, taking losses, I took so much losses, I took them as lessons. I stopped looking at, I just lost something, I just learned something, That's what really, it prepared me to actually go further in life, So you got to latch on to whatever is going to make you move forward.
So why God?
Why God?
Why Jesus? Why God?
Because I can feel it in my spirit and my heart. Like, when I know my belief is strong, I know I'm going to match exactly what I want to match myself up to in life, so.
Did you have a mentor that guided you there? Or how did you get there?
No. Only people I really had was my brother, that's passed away, and I had my mother, when times would get hard,
So that's when you begin to start seeing him more seriously?
Yes.
Have you ever been angry with him?
To be honest, yeah, real reality. There was certain moments.
Because I know when I first realized about Jesus, right, God in my life, I was even angry with him too, because I didn't understand him.
Yeah. There was times I did feel angry, but I realized that it's not about me. This is about the world, the way it spins, and the way, everybody has to accept, you can't deny it because it's real,
Okay. So where are you going from here?
Well, from here, I'm going to, I still got to graduate high school. But after that,
How far behind are you with high school?
I got 20 credits. I go to a charter school.
Good for you.
Yeah. So from there, I'm going to go to college,
And what are you going to be studying in college?
For music, I want to be a rap artist and a producer. I have the rap part done, like far as my lyrics and making of that, but I want to know how to make beats and stuff.
Who's guiding you?
Right now, it's just myself, and God, so.
Yeah. So have you reached out to anyone? Maybe they can help you?
I got a few, friends and family members that they say they can put me in that direction, so I'm just praying for that blessing to come my way,
That's very, very good. I'm really proud of your passion, where you're going right now. Now, how do you keep focusing on making sure that's the route you want, right? I know everyone has visions and everyone have goals.
Right.
But in the world today, there's a lot of distraction out there.
Yeah.
How do you keep yourself away from negative influences?
Well, I just keep myself to where I'm so distant away, that I can't even come towards it, I feel like if I put myself in, some people say you gotta look outside the box or be outside the box. Me, I put myself in a box to where I know this is only what's gonna come my way because I'm not in the way of anybody else's direction, So.
Now, as you were growing up, right?
Yes.
As you know, you've been through the system, the juvenile system and all that stuff. You're 18 now, right?
Yeah.
So you're considered as an adult, correct?
Yes.
What do you think, if you're speaking right now and people are listening out there right now, what are some of the resources that young people really do need? I know that there's a lot of program, a lot of resources out there. And I said it in one of my shows. I said the resources are there. It's just a matter of getting there and wanting to be there.
Right.
But what would you say? Is that enough just to be resources out there? Because every child is different, right? What would you say still needs to be done in our community, especially in Fresno, right, to help young people like yourself that are really trying? I mean, with the social media, everybody said, well, they use social media a lot, they use this and use that. They should be able to find it. But what would you say the challenges would be for some of the young people? They're not like you. Some of them may have all those desires, and I truly believe, working with young people over 33 years, the intention is there, but there's a fear of not knowing where to go. So what do you think is the most effective way of reaching young people like yourself that's been through a lot of situation in their lives, right? That would be really working to help you get there. Because at the end of the day, it'll still be your choices.
Right.
So what do you think? Can you give me some input, some ideas, so that the viewers that are out there that have a passion of working with young people, how do you think they should be? Is it the profession? Is this a college degree? Or is it more what?
I think it's more just with being, like, direct, you know? Because a lot of, like, it's usually always, like, someone beating around the bush of what they're really trying to get the message through. But if you be direct, face-to-face...
What do you mean by that? Some people may not understand you because a lot of them may be fearful of being too direct.
Right.
You think, is that the weakness?
I believe it is. A lot of people are very not outspoken, and they like to keep mute mouth, so they're
Why do you think they do that? Why do they keep mute mouth?
Some probably are really afraid of themselves, of what they can, you know, really have done, you know.
So for young people, you prefer somebody to be straight out.
Right.
Basically speak the truth and nothing but the truth.
Get to the point of what you really want.
Get to the point.
What you want to know.
Okay,
you know, be heard.
But then some of them that are out there might be challenged too and say, yeah, when we do get to the point, some of them get mad or we're afraid that they'll get mad, they get violent. What would you say?
Well, for that, you know, you only have control of your actions, you know, and the reactions that somebody else deals towards your way, you know, you only have the card that you're dealt, so you have to deal them back out, whichever way you know possible, I believe.
So do you think that young people today are lacking discipline?
A lot of them, especially this generation, yes.
Tell me about that a little bit more.
I feel like it's just like in this day and age, it's just like a lot of things where they're allowed to get away with a lot, you know. But
so do you think the system should be tougher on them?
No. Honestly, I feel that they should actually be more understanding of them, you know, and still enforce what they have to enforce. But
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Not so much tougher in that sense, but
yeah.
holding them accountable?
Yeah.
In what way? Do you think to be understanding is one thing,
right?
But slapping in the hands and getting away, like you said.
Yeah.
So what kind of understanding are we talking about here?
An understanding of really don't just send them away and then think that they're going to have a different mindset and be reconstructed out of making a destruction out of them, you know, because I mean they're crashing themselves, but at the same time you're adding to the flame of the fire of the car, you know, that they're
in
in,
what
that
way?
they're driving.
Give me an example, like
you know?
in your situation, right? Let's say an example of a child that just started off mouthing, you know, misbehaving, or maybe not having a parent in the home, one or both, you know, and raised by maybe relatives or the system.
Yeah.
Do you think we should feel sorry for them and not have any consequences when they do something wrong? Or they should be at least be disciplined? What kind of discipline is appropriate to you? When someone committed a crime.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
What would you say?
I said...
What's appropriate? To discipline but be understanding at the same time.
Well, I feel like as long as the lessons learned, you know, like, because there's a lot of different ways besides confinements, which is what they usually try to enforce, like, oh, he did this wrong, so confine him. No, there's plenty of other ways you could...
What are those other ways that you think should work?
Well, they have it to where some people get community service, or they get other, you know, they take classes, like, for instance, like, when I was in your class, in the CBS, you know, me and us, like, well, all the other students that were there, like, we actually learned, like, exactly why we're doing what we're doing, what was the roots, the reason why we did, what led up to us being even there. And that's what really changed me. And maybe, like, the reason why I did this was because I felt hurt, damaged, you know, not understood, not listened to, you know, and that, like, I just felt like I had no other outlet, you know, besides to do what I was doing, you know.
But do you think when a child commits their first offense, serious offense, they should be just let go and just go to program, or there should be some consequences that comes with it?
I believe they actually, for the first, like, they should actually have a class, you know, like, well, you know, try, like, listen to what really is going on, the reason why they're hurt, or the reason why they do what they do. And then from there, if that's not, you know, if that's not working.
What if some of them are really hard-headed? You know that?
Yeah.
What do you think we need to do with them? The one that really don't learn from what you're saying, they just don't care.
Well, with those ones, you just have to, you know, we all have laws and everything, so, you know, I guess you just...
Utilize the law?
Huh?
activate the law?
Yeah.
What is the right kind of consequences? I don't like to use punishment because that's not my belief.
Yeah.
What are the consequences? Like right now, with probation, right? Let's break it down.
Right.
The police, the probation, have they helped you also to really focus on changing in some ways?
I believe so.
Okay, so let's start with that. When an officer arrests you for the crime, right?
Yes.
Would that open up your eyes at least to help you? And then with probation and the court, tell me every segment of that. How do they help you to get you to want to make a change? How do they play that part?
Well, it played a part in my life of where I felt I was isolated, and then when I realized I was in there by myself and there was nobody on the outside looking in to help me, I realized that, like, I came in here by myself and I'm going to leave here by myself, not just in the confinement, but, like, out this world. Like, I came in this world alone. I'm going to leave out this world alone. So, you know, as far as being a part of what everybody has going on, I'd rather just keep myself isolated because I see you guys aren't here when I'm in my desperate need of help, you know.
Okay, so in other words, those victim mentality is not helpful.
No.
You've been a victim of your family upbringing in some ways.
Right.
We all been through victim situation, but this victim mentality is not helping, is it?
Not at all.
So you feel like maybe the police and probation has helped you to realize those victim mentality is not helping. They hold you accountable in a different way.
At all
Would
times.
you say that?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to put words into your mouth, but do you agree that the law should be the law?
I agree that it should be the law. Well, my belief, I'm really, you know, I'm just held for what I do, so, you know.
So each person is accountable to themselves.
To
You
their
can't really
actions.
speak to a lot of the young people what they want to do.
Right.
But you did say that right now it's too easy. Everybody's getting away with things.
Yes, but then I'm against confinement though at the same time. I feel no human being should be locked away, you know.
Yeah,
I
but
just feel
what's the answer then? If they don't lock them away, if they committed a really bad crime, what do you think we should do?
Well, I believe
If they really commit a bad crime, like robbing an old lady,
Right.
you know, they should not be confined. I mean, the respect is gone with a lot of young people, as you know.
Right.
What do you think has gone wrong there when young people are not respectful anymore? They don't even stand up when a woman walks in the room. I mean, there's no such thing as modern behavior, is there? If you think about it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I just think they need more guidance, you know, more role models and a symbol of hope, you know, because a lot of
What is a guidance of more kind of a role model? What is that?
a guidance or role model is really a person that can lay the blueprint out for you
Straight,
straight, you know, flat.
keep it real,
Keep it real with you, exactly.
keep it
you know,
100.
at all
Okay.
times, 99
Okay.
plus 1, you know, and, you know, be the person that really directs you and guides you towards that, you know. Not just say you can do it like this, but actually show you can, you know,
Okay.
execute your plan of operation, you know.
So you believe in discipline and guidance,
Yes, yeah, I believe in
not
that.
just discipline by itself?
Guidance, yeah, over everything.
So do you think the law for the young people today is too lenient, or it's too hard, or it should be both?
I believe it's just too harsh, you know.
In what way is it too harsh?
In the ways of really, you know, in my eyes, I've seen too much people, well, our people really be, you know, struck down and, you know, locked away for things that could have been avoided, you know.
When you say our people, are you talking about the division about the color of your skin?
No, for all people, my people too, but for all people, you know, because we're not the only ones being victimized, you know, by, you know.
Okay, so you think it's too harsh. In what way is it too harsh, though? I want to know, when you say harsh, in what way is it harsh? But it works for you,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
So
it works.
harsh means in what way?
Harsh as in you know, the law they enforce is kind of I don't know, it's one way thought out to where they can handle a situation, you know, rather than there's open outlets, but they, you know, they
What do
apply
you
pressure with
yeah.
pressure, but the pressure.
Where do you
is
think
too
it should
much.
come from, though? Do you think that the government, probation, social worker be responsible to be parenting kids who are out of control, or it should be the parents?
It should be the parents,
But-
but they have the rule over everything, so why not, you know? I mean, it was the same way if it was theirs, you know, they would want there to be reasonable, like, you know, outcomes of the situations.
So do you feel that the lack of understanding about whether the law is too harsh or not, do you think that all these disciplines should begin at home?
Yes.
Should?
Yes.
Have we lost that? Do you think, as far as family structure, do you feel that family structure has been lost?
Yes.
Big time?
Yes, in a lot of ways.
That's what I'm trying to ask you, is that I like to talk about it in this show, is that we can put a lot of programs, a lot of, you know, discipline, but at the end of the day, right, we've lost family structure, have we not?
Yes.
Do you agree?
I agree with that.
Do you agree 100% when
Very
it comes to
much,
that?
yes.
Well, we're going to talk about it a little bit more because
Okay.
I want them to hear your song also.
Okay.
I mean, your rap, I would say,
Yeah.
your rap music.
Yeah.
And because it has a lot of meaning there. A lot of young people who's listening can hear the words, right?
Yes.
But we're going to talk about the family structure
Okay.
after this.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, everyone. We're going to take a little break right here, and we're going to have this intense conversation again with our young man here. Passion. What a name. I love that.
Today, we bring you the first part of our global broadcast exclusive conversation.
The streets of Tahrir have once again been filled.
Key issues here at the United Nations Climate Change Conference remain unresolved.
Police are saying the protesters to move further and further away.
I'm Amy Goodman.
And I'm Juan Gonzalez.
And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!
Okay, let's continue with our conversation with a young man by the name of Passion, and we're going to go ahead and have this conversation. Okay, Passion, we were talking about family values, right?
Right.
I don't believe myself personally that government, okay, any type of government program could be as effective as the parents, but unfortunately we have to be realistic. A lot of family has broken down. How can you, as the young generation, right, begin to heal and bring back family values? What would you say? Do you agree that family is the key?
Right.
Okay.
I believe so. Like, I believe if you replace what was missing as you were growing up, if you felt that you were damaged or hurt and you felt like you weren't listened to, then you have to open your ears and open your eyes to what they're going through. Because every new generation faces different struggles and obstacles that the ones before didn't have to face, you know.
Yeah. But then we are also seeing more and more, I don't know if you pay attention, I'm sure you do, more and more government programs seems to want to take over the parental obligation. Is that working, you think?
I think we're actually doing, like, sometimes I feel like it can have you better off and sometimes have you worse off, like, you know.
Can you explain that really quickly because of time? Because I want you to sing that. So when you say when government takes over too much of parental rights, right? Can they really be as effective, or do you think that it's really up to the person? What can we do? Are we just going to accept the fact that we lost a whole generation in this country?
I don't believe we should. We shouldn't turn the eye to that, you know.
So what can you do as a young man, right?
Yes.
To improve and heal families?
What I could do, I believe I could set up same way they have programs, but really have it to where it's involving both. Because mostly it'd be the youth, but you actually should get the parents involved too. So they can have an understanding of.
There you go. So just handling the youth is not enough, right?
No.
What about all these programs? They have block parties and stuff like that. Is that really as effective as really one-on-one with family?
No. Face-to-face and directness to the, like, because every one of them face different struggles and different things that make them feel the way they feel. So you have to deal with each one's emotions differently, you know.
So government programs should be more focused on family values, right? Rather than just dealing with one part of it.
I believe so.
But if you're going to do family values, what if everybody is different in their values? What do you think is going to happen? So what's the most effective way when we start talking about healing families? How do they approach that real quickly?
They approach that with really, I feel like, you know, what they feel is right and what's wrong, but also know what you're wrong is their right.
So holding them accountable also, then just water it down.
Right.
Keep it real.
At all times. Get to the point where
Get to the point.
What you really want.
Very good. So at this time, I want you to go ahead, okay, and give it all. Okay. I know that you have a rap song that you wanted to share that comes from your heart.
Right.
Okay, so I want you to share that right now.
Yeah, so for this, I thought of this today, early in the morning, and it just spoke from my heart, so I'm going to read it off right now. Okay. Chasing my dreams, feel like I'm getting closer. I did it through God, stay humble, never look for applause. RP to my brother Nick, because he taught me a lot. Be a man before anything. Feel I can accomplish the greatest things. Even though I'm a human being, I feel higher spiritually, strong physically and mentally, ready for the thunderstorm when the rain bleeds. For those I can't see, I pray to God they still with me, never against me. Borderline loving, hate energy kept me distant from many. They lose and I'm winning. What's best for my family, that's going to be my decision. To my last breath of me living, I'm going to stay optimistic, self-driven, dedicated, committed, 10 toes down, both eyes on my mission. That's really much of more, it was more poetry than I felt in my heart than more of a rap. You know, that's why I pronounced it so slow and everything. I didn't have a beat to it because I wanted it to be, you know, more heartfelt, you know. But emotions like kind of start overpowering. But, you know, but really, I felt it about my brother because this morning, I had a dream about my brother being alive, and it's been happening for like 2 days straight. And I wake up from the dream, and I realize my brother is gone, you know. So he played a real big role in my life and told me to keep doing music. Even when he stopped wanting to do it, he still promoted me doing it. So
thank you so much, Passion, for coming here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was a blessing today.
Okay, so those of you who are listening to this show, especially on the portion that Passion was talking about, if you want to reach him, his information is at the bottom of the screen. You can contact him. Be free to do that, or you can contact me. And if you would like to come to my show, my information is also at the bottom of the screen. Please email me or call me and let me know what your topic is going to be about. I really want to welcome everybody here, and God bless you. God bless America. Let's get to the point with our discussion. Nothing but the truth. So help us, God. Thank you.
Allows you to connect with your doctor when you need a quick treatment. Avoid a trip to a medical clinic or emergency room and connect by video with your doctor from your home, work, or anywhere. Just go to drnsukasa.com on your phone, tablet, or computer. Dr. Nsukasa provides quality care that is convenient, bilingual, and affordable, so you are never left without access to health care. Visit drnsukasa.com today.
CentralValleyTalk.com